Welcome aboard Skylens, your window to the world above. Today we're counting down the top 5 most dangerous airport landings on Earth. These airports challenge even the most experienced pilots with steep descents, short runways, sudden weather shifts, and jaw-dropping terrain. From remote Himalayan valleys to a Caribbean beach where planes skim the sand, every landing on this list demands absolute precision. Paro International Airport, Bhutan. Hidden deep in the Himalayan kingdom of Bhutan, Paro International Airport is surrounded by 18,000-foot peaks and rests at an elevation of about 7,300 feet. Pilots attempting to land here must thread a narrow valley, banking sharply between towering mountains before lining up with the runway at the very last moment. Unlike most major airports, Paro has no precision instrument landing system. Landings are performed entirely by sight, which means cloudy weather or sudden fog can force diversions to India with almost no warning. The single runway is just 6,500 feet long, short by international standards, and the thin mountain air reduces engine performance and braking effectiveness. Only a tiny group of pilots, fewer than 20 worldwide, hold special certification to operate here. They train extensively on flight simulators and must demonstrate repeated proficiency in real-world conditions. Even then, a strong crosswind or unexpected downdraft can transform the approach into a white-knuckle experience. For passengers, the descent offers postcard-worthy views of green valleys and cliffside monasteries, but it's hard to ignore the dramatic banking and sudden altitude changes as the aircraft snakes between ridges. Paro is more than Bhutan's only international gateway. It's a showcase of pilot skill and the delicate balance between geography and aviation technology. Toncontín International Airport, Honduras. Tucked into a mountainous basin near Tegucigalpa, Toncontín International Airport has long been considered one of the world's trickiest approaches. Aircraft must descend steeply through rugged terrain, then execute a sharp 45-degree right turn just seconds before touchdown. The runway measures about 7,000 feet, short for large jets, and sits at an elevation of 3,300 feet, where thinner air reduces lift and engine thrust. The approach path is far steeper than the standard 3-degree glide slope, forcing pilots to drop quickly while carefully managing speed. Add to that the swirling crosswinds funneled through the surrounding hills, and every landing becomes a calculated challenge. During Honduras' rainy season, sudden storms can reduce visibility and create slippery conditions. Toncontin's reputation was cemented in 2008 when an Airbus A320 overshot the runway in wet weather, injuring passengers and underscoring the airport's unforgiving margins. Although safety improvements like an extended taxiway and better navigation aids have been added, the basic geography hasn't changed. Pilots flying here must complete special training and often hand-fly the final approach rather than relying solely on autopilot. For travelers, the view of Tegucigalpa's colorful rooftops rushing up to meet the plane is unforgettable. But inside the cockpit, every second is critical, making Toncontín a true test of a pilot's precision and composure. Princess Juliana International Airport, St. Maarten. Few airports mix beauty and danger like Princess Juliana on the Caribbean island of St. Maarten. The runway begins just steps behind the famous Maho Beach, so arriving jets thunder barely 60 feet above sunbathers' heads. To land safely, pilots must descend low over the turquoise water, clear a perimeter fence, and touch down on a strip only 7,150 feet long. The challenge lies in balancing altitude and speed with almost no room for error. Approach too high and the aircraft risks overshooting into the sea. Come in too low and the wheels practically skim the sand. Strong trade winds sweep unpredictably across the bay, adding turbulence just when pilots need steady control. Sudden tropical showers can also turn the runway slick, demanding precise braking. The airport has become a pilgrimage site for aviation enthusiasts who crowd the beach to feel the jet blast and snap dramatic photos. While the spectacle draws tourists, it can also distract pilots who must remain laser-focused despite the cheering crowds below. Modern navigation aids help, but Princess Juliana still demands skillful hand-flying on final approach. For passengers, the view of crystal water rushing toward the cockpit windows is both breathtaking and slightly nerve-wracking, making every arrival an unforgettable event. Corcheval Altaport, France. Almost equals 330 words. High in the French Alps lies Courchevel Altiport, a gateway to luxury ski resorts, and one of the most technically demanding airstrips in the world. At 6,500 feet elevation, its runway measures only about 1,700 feet and features an incredible 18.5% uphill gradient. The slope helps slow landing aircraft, but it also means there's no possibility of a go-around. Once a pilot commits, touchdown is mandatory. Approaches are purely visual. There's no instrument landing system, and alpine weather can change in minutes. Snow, ice, and dense fog are common, while downdrafts spilling off nearby peaks can shove aircraft off course. Pilots must be specially licensed and usually fly small STOL, short takeoff and landing, aircraft that can handle the extreme conditions. Landings here resemble a controlled crash more than a gentle arrival. Pilots aim for a precise point on the steep incline, using the slope to bleed off speed. Takeoffs are equally dramatic, with aircraft accelerating downhill toward a mountain drop-off that provides an instant boost of lift. For visitors headed to world-class ski slopes, the arrival itself feels like an alpine adventure. Even seasoned aviators describe Courchevel as landing on a ski jump, a fitting description for one of the world's most unforgettable and unforgiving airports. Tenzing Hillary Lukla Airport, Nepal. Often labeled the most dangerous airport on Earth, Lukla serves as the gateway to Mount Everest. Perched at 9,300 feet in the Himalayas, its single runway is only 1,729 feet long and slopes upward at a 12% gradient, ending abruptly at a stone wall and mountainside. Approaches are strictly one-way. Aircraft must land uphill and depart downhill with no chance of a go-around. The weather adds another layer of risk. Clear skies can turn to dense fog or snow squalls within minutes, while fierce mountain winds create unpredictable downdrafts. The thin air at this altitude reduces engine power and braking efficiency, leaving almost no margin for error. Pilots require special certification and often rely on deep local knowledge to judge whether conditions are acceptable. Several accidents over the decades underscore the airport's perilous reputation, yet Lukla remains a lifeline for trekkers, climbers, and Sherpa communities. For passengers, the experience is equal parts awe and anxiety. The plane seems to aim directly at a sheer cliff before braking hard uphill to a stop. Landing at Lukla is not just a flight. It's an expedition in itself, a dramatic first step on the journey to the world's highest peak and a testament to the courage of pilots who tame the Himalayan skies.